It is 11:35 a.m., November 23rd, 2023. Supposedly. I guess it's the Matrix time. It says it's a Thursday, and supposedly it's Thanksgiving Day. So you don't want to hear any of this. I just woke up. I look like crap. I'm telling you, because I want you to calm down. Because I woke up with some irritation internally, like physical pain, since I went to the dentist. And they're supposed to be helping, but the mind gets in the way. So even if they help, sometimes the mind is like, that's not help. Doesn't feel like they helped. I know. If you've been through something similar, I know. And I know you know. But the thing we keep forgetting sometimes is that universal life force energy. We can move it to where we need it. We don't need to go to get a triple check on something or quadruple check just because our intuition or our instincts or our paranoia when we can't figure out which one's which is telling us, oh no, oh no. So you know what to do with yourself. And if you don't know what to do, just take this time with me and just, okay. My issue today that has had me in a tizzy since I've been up is this dental stuff. I look hilarious. It's the dental stuff. And it's really uncomfortable. Like really uncomfortable. And my face is puffy. And I feel absurd. Like a Sesame Street doll. So I hope it's giving you a chuckle. Okay? Now, hopefully you're distracted enough from your mind. You're thinking other things than what you were thinking about before you came in here. Um, some of you are having money problems, anxieties. Honey, I make less than $1,000 a month on disability pay. I'm not even allowed to make an income. If I can survive, so can you. Find a way to simplify your life, okay? Just sit here with me. Enjoy the sunlight. Enjoy the absurdity of my face. And here. By the way, the face, like this, without teeth in there, because I don't have my dentures in. The structure of the face gets weird. So some of you who've been going to a dentist or have dentures have self-esteem issues because of that. Let me tell you, we get over that real quick. When your anxiety and your stuff and your inner dialogue keeps insulting you, like it has for me since I've been little, it's not like you ever felt beautiful. I know I haven't ever my entire life. People have told me this and that, and erratically, sporadically. I think I've been complimented 10 times my entire life. So I don't have like a backstory of being told I'm worthy or beautiful or kind or anything. People don't even like bother to tell me happy birthday or anything like that whenever my birthday is. I've just mostly been treated like I'm irrelevant. So what I'm telling you is from a point of view of someone who's never really been treated like they're worthy of anything. Not even my own body. As most of you know, since I've been here on the internet, people have told me that I'm not good enough to be alive. That I'm not good enough to be part of Jesus Christ or God or Source or Gaia. That I'm not good enough to be myself. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I don't give a fuck. I'm still here. So get all that shit out of your head. Okay? I'm telling you this because there's nothing else I can tell you when you're in your moods, just like there's nothing else anybody can tell me when I'm in my moods that would get me to look at my problems in a better way. So I'm telling you like these problems that I've experienced because I want you to see how yours look in comparison. Your money issues, you guys, there was a dude on the internet yesterday, a very lovely gentleman, talking about how he's having money issues. But he has credit cards worth thousands of dollars. He has 20 some $1,000 in the bank. The other one was saying he has like 230,000 something dollars in his bank, and he's just stressing over money, and he couldn't even imagine what people would do with if they had to live off $2,000 a month. And I'm sitting there in the chat room like, what? Because I've never seen more than $1,000 a month anywhere in my bank account, ever, ever. Even when I had a job at different places, I barely made more than $200 a week. This was over 20 years ago before I was put on disability pay. It's been absurd trying to figure out how to even get enough money so I can buy myself a new water filter because those things cost $300 and I get paid $900 a month or something like that from Social Security disability. I've tried to find work and I just can't. It just doesn't work. It's like the entire world is like, nope, not unless you join a little, cool kids club. And I've never even been asked to join. They just keep saying I've say no to stuff, and I'm like, can I at least go see a doctor? And I can't because when I go to the doctors, my paranoia and my anxiety goes like, oh no, they're hurting you, just like it did a few days ago when I went to the dentist. And since then, it's been stuck in my head. This thing of like, oh, I was screwed with. Do you have something like that? I think you do. Because if you found this channel and you're watching this video, you probably have something like that. Okay? I was taking a puff of a cigarette and I don't want you to see it. So, the point of all this, other than to calm your mind down and to give you perspective, you might have relationship issues. That's so funny. I haven't been loved by a person that genuinely loves me without an agenda my entire life. How do your relationships stack up to that? I'm not being cold to you. I'm not being heartless. I'm giving you a loving grandmother, crone, whatever energy type of boop so that you can get your head out of your butt. I've never been made love to. I've never been kissed for me. I've never had someone other than my parents when I was a kid cover me with a blanket while I was asleep on a couch or somewhere and the blanket fell off me. I've been left at shopping malls by my partners because they didn't want to be in the car with me driving home because they didn't like being called out on how disrespectful they were to me at that day. You probably had people cheat on you. So did I. They cheated on me while I was in the kitchen and they were in the basement getting their dick sucked in the same house. Just 5 minutes. He went downstairs, had a hookup. He met them downstairs in our house and he had sex with them in our basement on top of the laundry machine. Do you think I don't get paranoid in relationships anymore because of it? Or do you think I get more paranoid? Now, if somebody told me to let it go, do you think the mind is going to let it go? So when someone tells you to just let it go and get over it, you have to find peace, right? So, how do you find that peace? How do you do all this stuff throughout all these things when your mind tells you that everyone's an enemy and your heart tells you you're fine, but your body tells you something's wrong? Where do you find the connection to bring peace to all of it? You have to listen to your inner self. You have to listen to the elements. You have to listen to that, not the voice, not the words, not the dialogue, not anything tangibly, audibly, vocabularily, dictionarily, none of those things. You listen behind the listening. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. You just keep listening. There's a knowing inside you. It's the same feeling you have when you see ice cream. No, seriously. It's the same feeling you get when you see a butterfly, when you see a bee on a flower. That little feeling of, oh no, oh wait, you know what I'm talking about? In between that oh no and oh wait is the thing inside you, the being inside you, the you inside you. Notice how I called it three different things so that we can ping each part of your consciousness to recognize it's not the one in charge. It's the closest part of you to God, the part that doesn't speak, the part that doesn't feel, but it knows what the feelings are. And then when you feel those feelings, the word inside you says it's love, it's fear, it's hate, it's whatever, it's ugly, it's pretty. Underneath that, there is that feeling of standing by a lake and seeing water. It's the feeling of being by a willow tree and the wind blows and you can hear the wind rustling through the leaves. That feeling. Think about it in another way. Gaia. When Gaia has pain, she has no words. She has no mouth. She has no ears or eyes. It's just pain. What does she do with it? She changes it into something. What do you mean? Well, let me explain to you. You can do the same thing. When you're sad and you're crying, what scene in nature do you think inspired or was inspired by that feeling of sadness and crying? Probably the rain, right? Or maybe an ocean that's experiencing a thunderstorm. Maybe a typhoon. Or maybe your sadness is just the kind where it's a cottage in the woods and it's raining and you're by yourself. Maybe that's what Gaia saw. And maybe that's what Gaia felt when she made a mountain so high or an ocean that's so deep that deep isn't even deep enough to describe it. Maybe that's what Gaia felt when there was the deserts for the frost. She felt cold. She felt unseen and unloved. There was nothing growing, like Demeter missing her daughter. What's the springtime? Happiness, joy, bloom, flowers, candy and pinks and greens and blues and all these different colors, right? What are those in emotional sense? Peace, comfort, joy, giddiness, uh, playfulness, charity, abundance, prosperity, regeneration, regrowth, hope. But she has no words to use them to describe what she needs or wants, so she creates nature. And that's why it's so important when you're in nature to recognize each leaf on a tree, each flower, each finger you have, each hand. It is an expression of divine intelligence, of divine love, forming a reality for you so that you can get to know it. Think about it. You're looking at my face and you're seeing something. Something ugly, something beautiful, something sad, something damaged, something traumatized, something whatever. But you're not seeing the story behind it. You're only seeing the result. And that's easy to overlook. And what you guys on Earth, humanity and people in Earth, on Earth, wherever you are watching this, you guys have strayed so far that you forgot that each blade of grass, when you look at it under a microscope, has a smiley face on it. But you guys stomp on the grass. You cut it, you shred it. You guys forgot the flowers are the joy and laughter of little children and nature itself giggling into the world, and you guys stomp them, cut them, and put them in vases instead of growing more and more and more and more and more of them. And then you guys sometimes do it without even respect for the life you cut off the ground. The trees, made from the blood, the bones, the essence, the breath, the carbon of every ancestor we've ever had, being regrown into trees to give us oxygen, the spirit of air to breathe. And we cut them down. The lives, the homes, the things inside them, we cut them. And we don't comprehend the pain it causes. In that same way, when you're having anxiety, when you're having a panic attack, when your mind is racing, when you are following a trail of negative thoughts, when your body is in pain, it's the same thing. You're overlooking something inside because of how it looks. Isn't it funny how easy it is to deceive people with their eyes and ears and mouths? What they cherish with their hearts. You guys are experiencing heaven on earth right here, right now. But your minds have been so programmed and deluded into thinking there's danger and harm and everything else that you guys have started creating that for eons almost. And this is the result. This world, this thing, this whatever. And there's millions and billions of people across the universes, countless, that are going through countless things, known and unknown. And at the core, the root of every single thing is the lack of tenderness to the world around you and yourself. Without that tenderness and appreciation of every single petal and leaf and wing and eyelash, when we forget those simple things, we can keep chasing all the monsters until we can't chase anymore. And we can run from love thinking that it's just going to hurt us until we're starved for love. And then we become unlovable because we become resentful and bitter and jaded and everything else for numerous reasons. But the main one is the current of love gets blocked. What happens to a forest without water? It becomes a desert. What becomes of a prairie with too much heat, a desert, a barren place. Look at yourself as nature. Look at yourself as an embodiment of God on earth. Look at yourself as an aspect of the light incarnated in flesh. Look at yourself as eyes of the universe, like millions of peacock feathers, all staring in different directions, but they're all eyes, like the peacocks given to Hera to protect her, to give her sight of everything. You could be one of those eyes, and what you're perceiving, whether it's accurate or not, is affecting the greater whole. So it's time to adjust how you're seeing things and what you're seeing and what your thoughts are. Before you get to that, you have to remember inside of you. It doesn't matter if I tell you your inner child hears those thoughts, your ancestors hears them, your grandparents, your neighbors, doesn't matter. It's just more anxiety fuel. What matters is, do you want to spend another 10 minutes feeling that anxiety? No. Can you make a solution right now without, whether it's a medical professional, a legal, or whatever, can you find a solution for yourself right now? Can you really, though? Not in the physical world, inside of you. Because if you're trying to, you know, juggle 4 plates of food, if you're a waiter and you're going to a table, but your shoes, there's a pebble in your shoe, you're not going to get anywhere with those plates. No matter how much you maneuver and dance across the floor, you're going to drop something. So what do you need to do? You take the shoe off and you move the pebble out of your shoe. How do you do that? You acknowledge there's a pebble in your shoe and you can't function as properly as you could with that pebble in there. Then you move it out of there. But you got to put something in its place. Put love in there. Think the word love. Feel the word love. Put it in there. I just saw a butterfly go by. And for fuck's sake, stop pretending to be so much better than everybody else. Whether it's physically, whether it's whatever, with the makeup, with the jewelries, with the outfits, with the costumes, with the hoodies, with the hats, with the glasses, with the there are children, there are grown-ups, there are people who will eventually have children, who will eventually be ancestors, watching these videos on the internet. And you guys that are trying to help each other or yourselves cannot help each other from behind 1,000 masks. You have to strip it all away so that the people you're trying to help see you at your worst and at your best, so they can know they're taking advice, receiving advice and guidance from someone who's actually real. Not someone who has thousands of dollars who can drive themselves to a doctor or has a house with a fireplace, accommodations more than a few $1,000s a month, etc. Everything's fine, everything's no. No. Those are all distractions from what the problem actually is. And I'm telling you this as I'm going through this. I can't go to a dentist. I don't have a car. The dentist I go to, I have to pay a bunch of money to take an Uber ride, which means I have to trust the Uber driver. Then I have to go and sit there and trust the dentist. I already went to one, feel like you screwed something up. But then if I believe that, then I'm going against the society and the oaths these people have taken, how they are bound by the law to take care of me. But then my body says something's not right. They messed something up. It was just a cavity filling. Why is it 3 days worth of pain afterwards? And why is there a scar on my tooth now? How would you fix that? Go to another dentist? And another? And another? And another? I've been going to dentists nearly every 6 months since I've been 9 years old. Don't you think by now somebody should have figured something out to help me instead of this? Huh? So what do you think it's going to solve for me if I go to another dentist? Nothing. Is it going to solve anything if I go find a lawyer and go deal with a malpractice, something or other, when it probably nothing's wrong? It's just anxiety. Or if something has been done wrong and incorrectly and sabotaging me in secret societies and whatever the fuck else, like, do you really think I'm going to get anywhere in the world that's controlled by these things? I can't even get 1,000 subscribers to get monetized because I'm not part of some secret societies controlling all this shit. So what am I supposed to do? Go work at McDonald's? Even they don't want to hire me. The only thing I can do is build a better connection with my inner source and my access to healing energy for myself. Because every avenue seems to be blocked off for me to receive help from professionals who are obligated to help. They are bound by oaths and laws to help, but they have not. So, what am I supposed to do? And on the flip side of it, am I just supposed to sit here and yorenge kyo myself out of dental pain? How well has that worked for anybody? If your arm is busted, if your whatever is broken, and you can't trust medical professionals, and you need to go to a hospital or something, what are you gonna do? Get a band-aid? No, you have to go, right? So what's the problem? The perception. Perception. There has to come a point within you, like it has with me, where you have to look at the struggle. Do you want to be right about the world being against you? Or do you want to be right that you have the healing power within you and the world has been pushing you back so that you can find that healing power within you? Think about it. I don't know how much more time I have left here. Especially how much more time I have left even being able to recognize my own face after all the shit that's been done to me. So don't follow my path that way. But the little things I found here, one of them has been one of those old religions, one of the first religions, if not the first, called like Zoroastrianism. And it's the closest thing to what source is that I found. Good, all good. Because if it isn't all good, then it's good and evil, which means it's duality, which means it's matrix, which means it's false, which can only mean that the source, the All Father, All Mother, the Most High, is all good. Let that sink in a minute. It's a realization of the devil being in our minds, altering reality through our bodies. And God is the one that's kept us going, source, and we've been the reason why we have seen things so differently. Our minds, our perceptions. So I'm here a few steps ahead or whatever of the road we seem to be on, or a few steps behind, or swerved all the way the other way. I don't know. But from the darkness I've been in, I can tell you one thing very clearly. If evil actually existed the way we perceive it to exist as an entity outside of ourselves, then that means God is limited in power. Find that good God within you. Find that energy of wellness within you. Move it to the spot that needs healing. I can say this to you 1,000 different ways, but the bottom line is the same. You have to choose to believe that the source of all life, of all creation, of all universes, of all existences, has infinite capacity, infinite knowledge, infinite, eternal, omni everything. Because it's the only way for it to be considered God. That being, that essence, that divine consciousness cannot express itself in evil because then it wouldn't be what it is. Reality would cancel out. Those things exist just like colors and paints, but they are not what the source uses to paint reality with. Those things exist and we pick up on them through the mind of source, and we are the ones that enact them, not source, not God. Yeshua didn't, and probably won't cause evil to teach you good. It would cancel who he is. Sophia would not come down here and tear up the world in fire and whatever else because that's evil. It's pointless. It's war. It's hate. No. The children of God, the family of source, of light, of the womb, would not fight each other or attack each other. Those are deceptions of the mind, causing actions to be taken in that way. So do yourself a favor and do those around you who are suffering a favor. Remind them that every religion is technically right. Every God is technically right, but there's really one source. There are multiple gods and goddesses and things, ancestors, descendants, entities, etc. Millions. But they are all from one source, the prime creator, right? Connect with that. Connect with that. Because eventually we start putting so much weight on our ancestors and our guides and our gods and goddesses that it's like we stop our growth. And in order for humanity to evolve more past this point, you have to reconnect with your own source, which is the same source all those gods and goddesses connect to. The same source all those entities are connected to. The same energy those energy vampires feed off of is energy from source. They just refuse to connect to source. So they feed off others who are connected to source. And then we have a stupid fight. No more. You can stop all of that simply by stopping your inner bullshit dialogue. The thing that tells your body you're in pain when your body says, no, I'm not. And then you have irritation. Master yourself slightly more today. And maybe next time you see me, I'll look different. Maybe someday when you're ready, I can teach you how and why. Because there's a perfect state of your existence, of your being. An original blueprint. It's still in there. And you can easily access it again. But you have to get to that vibration and frequency and connect with source. Just do it, please. Because the more I'm connecting with everybody, the more I'm feeling this stuff. It's like, I just want to hug you guys. Because you guys are all fighting each other, or you were fighting each other. I don't know what the hell's going on in the world. But it's like you guys are having a chess game with your minds, not your hearts, not your bodies, not your instincts, not your intuition, not your world. Just a game of whose mind is more fucked than the other. And you guys call that victory. No. Can you do this for 10 seconds? I've been doing this for 43 years. In a few days, it's my birthday, and I'll still be alone here doing this. So I'm gonna go. Please take care of yourself. When your mind goes bonkers, remind it. That ugly bitch on the internet told us our minds are crazy. Not really. But when you start figuring it out, you'll be able to explain it better. I hope this helps you. I hope you can tell your mind to shut up long enough to hear the wisdom in this. I hope you can tell your ego to sit down long enough to where you can hear the love in this. And I hope you can tell whatever peer pressure group you're in to shut the fuck up for 5 minutes so you can sit there and become a better version of yourself to serve humanity better. And I hope the next time you want to cause harm to anyone or anyone thinks about causing harm to someone else, you remember yourself as children with your parents and your grandparents. And then tell that child to do what you were about to do to someone else. And see how sick to your stomach you're going to feel when you remember that you used to be loved more than you're loving other people and yourself right now. Love yourself more than I love you. Sacrifice for yourself more than I've sacrificed for you. Do good in the world more than I've done for you. And I'm not saying that out of ego. I'm saying that to irritate you so that you can get up and be angry at how much time you've wasted listening to your mind instead of your heart. Now, get off your butt, turn the computer off, go drink some water, eat something sweet with medical whatever in consideration. Eat something that brings you a smile to your face. Do something good for somebody, including yourself. Clean up your apartment. Organize your clutter. Get rid of the shit that makes you feel sad. Put it in a box until you're not sad looking at it anymore, and then decide what to do. Compartmentalize your mind and what it's telling you. Someone else in a video said if you were going to write down all the thoughts you think about each day, there would probably be 10 different thoughts only. Write down the thoughts you think. Put a piece of paper next to you and just write down each thought you get throughout the day that you notice. If you can. Now I'm going to go and try to meditate this pain away without having access to a doctor, a hospital, a medical professional, a dentist, or any of the stuff. So, yay me. May you always be in wellness. May you always have the clarity to know where God is within you and within others so that you can connect with God good. May your thoughts be good towards yourself and others, and may your actions be even greater good towards yourself and others. Not just for the highest good of everyone involved, but for the simplest happiness of you and everyone involved. Peacefully, Don't be a disappointment to God's goodness. And if you have a problem with me or someone in your life, get over it. Just get over it. If you're an ex I dated, you don't exist anymore to me the way you did. The version of that ex that existed doesn't exist anymore. There's someone completely different. Let go of those exes. The person you love doesn't exist anymore. They're just a memory. If they broke up with you, they're just a memory. If you broke up with them, they're just a memory. You're still in love with a ghost. If you're having drama with someone in your relationships, you're not having drama with them, you're having drama with your thoughts about what they did. Argue with your thoughts, balance them. Don't argue with that other person. Because if they say any other thing that'll make you want to argue, you'll end up in a fight, an argument. Don't do that. Sort out why it bothers you first so that you can eloquently express it to them later. If you're chasing an ex to be with them, you're not chasing who they are now. You're chasing who they were then when you were happy together. That person faded away the minute the relationship ended, which wasn't at the breakup point. It was before that. You were just late to the party to realize that. I know it's harsh, but sugarcoating it ain't gonna help. I spent 6 years trying to sort this out. And if I would have told myself or let myself believe that the people I loved didn't exist anymore the way I knew them, this would have been a lot easier to drop. No river is the same twice. You don't like your job? Find a different one. You don't like your life? Improve it. What can you do? You don't like someone? What are they showing you about you that you don't like? You don't like my nose? You probably don't like yours either. You don't like my face? You probably have problems with your face. Do you have an issue with my mouth and my teeth and stuff? You're probably afraid of looking like this when you age. Not my problem. But you disliking me or someone else for those things is a problem for you. Because you're missing out on great people because you're busy judging their faces. Is that dude wearing a VR set walking down the street? Look at this shit. Oh my goodness. That fool was wearing a VR set walking down the street. What the shit did I just see? Okay. I've never seen one of those things before. Maybe they were just really big glasses. It looked like those virtual reality set glasses. Oh, I guess we could be living in virtual reality too. Which would make all the problems we're experiencing even dumber, wouldn't it? There's some perspective for you. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Please, first and foremost, pretend your body is the doorway to God. Are you going to put bad thoughts, bad words, bad deeds in front of that door and expect God to walk through? If the front door of your house is covered in shit and shoes and dust and spider webs or whatever, do you think any goodness is going to want to come visit you? If you are constantly judging people in secret, but then you're pretending to be nice to other people, do you really think someone's not going to think you're being two-faced? If you have secret animosity towards someone, but it's like one person in the world, but you like have nothing against anyone else, don't you think people are going to look at you like you're hiding something? Even if that one person you dislike is yourself? Funny, isn't it? How badly I've been misjudged based on people's thoughts, words, and deeds. That even mine have been misjudged because of what their filters said. they were seeing. So I'm not here to solve all your problems for you. I'm here to turn you around and make you look at what you're doing. Because if each and every one of you can just kind of snap out of the bullshit illusion of good versus evil, cowboys versus Indians, light versus dark, aeons versus archons, we can all stop, because you guys are just pawns on a chessboard being played by an archon and an aeon side by side. And you guys are picking one side over the other, and they're both on the same side. So cut the shit and take care of yourself, take care of those around you, be better people, take care of your world. That way we can start helping other planets. We can start helping other species. We can start helping this planet too. Venus is a toxic mess in space, apparently, and no one's even able to go over there to help Venus, and we don't even know what's wrong with Venus. For all we know, Venus had a moon, and someone took her moon away. But everybody judges Venus as being a toxic planet. If you take Earth's moon away, Earth will be like that too. So, is Mother Earth toxic too? Or are we making it that way? No. It's been how long? 46 minutes. Okay. Your vibration, your frequency, your alignment has been fine-tuned, obviously. Through God, with God, not me. So please do good. Okay? Even if it's just lighting a candle and letting God know, let there be light. Even if you call somebody and tell them something nice, genuinely. If you offer help to someone or yourself, if you even find 5 minutes of peace today. When your thoughts get to that point, like right now, my tooth is hurting. And I feel nauseous and dizzy. I feel afraid and helpless. There's nothing I can do about it. So all I can do in this situation is to be at peace. Through the pain, through the fear, through the anxiety, and through it all, I've been talking to you here when I've needed help. If I can do it, so can you. I'm going to go take a Tylenol, cry my ass off, and probably try to go to sleep so I don't have to feel this in my body anymore. I hope you have a lovely Thanksgiving. Take care of yourself.